Hey, how's it going, guys? This is Tom from UDS with another edition of UDS Interviews, our series where we chat to interesting people from around the world. Now, my guest this week is a band that combines a plethora of different influences to create some of the most energetic, bombastic music around today. And with their debut EP literally out tomorrow, they're destined to have a great 2021. Here to talk all about the new release and more, it is my pleasure to introduce Emmy of RedHook. Emmy, how are you doing?
G'day, I'm doing well. It's like it's nighttime here in Sydney, which I think it's like early morning where you are.
Yeah, it's about mid-morning. So
Other side of the world.
How's your day been so far?
It's been a bit hectic. I live on the central coast of New South Wales, which nobody probably knows where the hell that is, but it's about an hour and a half from Sydney. But I worked in Sydney today, and I'm about to go to rehearsal. So I'm just like, this is like a quick little, you're like sandwiched in between. So I'm like, so this is probably like the highlight of my day. So I've just been working hard. So it's been full on, but I'm not complaining at all.
Well, you speak of sandwiches, and you have just given me the best segue ever because, we're both friends here. And one of the ways that I like to get to know my friends a little bit better is asking the hard-hitting questions. And that is, if you were a type of sandwich, what kind of sandwich would you say best represents you as a person?
Oh, do you know what? I'm sorry, there's all these like security guards lurking in the background. What sandwich best represents me as a person? I'd probably have to say like something really basic, probably just like a ham, cheese, tomato, probably with like tomato sauce, like tomato, like lots of tomato. I'm just rolling with the tomato imagery. I like tomato, and it's pretty, and I'm basic and it's basic. So yeah, just.
I mean, you can't beat the classics. You can't beat the classics, is what I say. So yeah, no, I dig it. But as much as I could talk about sandwiches for the rest of the interview, and probably I have done in the past, we should probably talk about music because that is, of course, why you're here. And that is your long-awaited, should I say, debut EP, Bad Decisions, is literally out tomorrow at time of recording, dropping April 23rd. First of all, how does it feel knowing it is literally out in less than 24 hours?
Yep, I'm just trying to not freak out. So thanks for making me think about it again. I've just been trying to think about it and like catastrophize all day. Like, cause you always, when it's like big like that, you always just like worry about like what could possibly go wrong.
I've been there, yeah.
Is that something that normal people do?
I think so.
So I'm just trying not to do that. I'm so excited. Like I'm so ridiculously excited to finally share this with the world and give everybody more than one song at a time from RedHook, which is a new thing for us.
It's a bold
trying that new thing. Yeah, it's bold strategy. Let's see if it pays off.
Someone got the reference. Yes.
Yes. Next week on the Ocho. Sorry. My brain's not working very well today.
That's okay.
But no, I'm so excited. I just I hope people dig it. It's
I'm
nervous but excited.
Well, I've been lucky enough to listen to it, and I am certain that people will dig it because I definitely dig it. But you've been sitting on this since before lockdown. It was all recorded, so it must be weird, like having this sort of in your back pocket for the longest time. It must make sort of those nerves and that anticipation just all the more exaggerated and blown up.
Yeah, definitely. But it was good. Like, I mean, so we recorded it kind of during lockdown, or it was just as we were sort of, the restrictions were starting to ease. But during that time, like we had obviously like a lot of the demos. So it was kind of like the thing that kept me hanging on and kept me kind of like from falling to pieces, like when COVID just like fucked everything. Sorry, am I allowed to say, fuck?
Yeah, no, fuck it.
I swear like a fucking sailor. So I'm sorry about that. But like it really, really was like it because we had like so many artists and bands, like we had like the entire year last year just planned out with touring, and just watching everything just fall like dominoes was just soul crushing. And so having this EP to work on and focus on and really get to like knuckle down, like really just to help kind of get through that, because it just felt like there was never a point where we're just twiddling our thumbs doing like, what the fuck do we do now, sort of thing.
Of course,
so so to come out the other side, and again, like, not to rub it in, but here in Australia, things are kind of like slowly starting to return to normal. Like we have live music back, and we're about to go out on tour. So it's like, it feels like a really nice time to be releasing it.
Absolutely. So would you say, in a way, do you think that I never want to say like the lockdown was good or whatever, but do you think perhaps the fact that you did have that time to sort of focus on it, where there was sort of no or fewer distractions, do you think that helped you make a better record at the end of the day?
100%. Yeah, definitely. And I feel like everybody probably has like some positives to take out of the lockdown. I mean, you kind of have to, right?
Of
to stop
course,
ourselves from going insane and falling to pieces. But yeah, no, definitely. Because so like that was one of the things, I mean, like, while with us, like it was always like very strategic building ourselves through these like single releases. That's always how we wanted to do it. There was also the logistic aspect where we were just touring so much. We never had time to just kind of sit down and work on an entire EP. Like everything was always happening. You see these like tiny little windows of time when you're like on the road or whatever, like to like jot down some lyrics and stuff. That we were never able to just like really focus. So that was one. I think there's definitely like at least maybe 2 songs on this EP that probably wouldn't have been written if not for the pandemic. So go lockdown.
Silver linings. Yeah, as you say, having a project and having those things to work on make all the difference. And I completely relate to that. And as you say, some of the singles have already released, and I know people hate to sort of, ask that question of like, how would you describe your release? But as sort of a whole package, what can people expect from the EP?
Diversity. It's a little bit I feel like it's really important to me that every song strikes like a good balance between having everything that makes RedHook and having all those elements of us that I guess people who know us know, but also that every song has character, and that like I never want to just like release a song that's just kind of like a join the dots like rehash of a song that we previously released. So yeah, every song has like, it's like a everyone has, so it's just a mixed bag of fun.
Exactly. That is a great way of describing it, because as I said at the start, you can tell there is a whole smorgasbord of influences that have gone in to create it, and it does make something that is truly unique. I would never sort of want to label RedHook as a particular genre, because you guys kind of just experiment with so much. So yeah, I'm really digging it, and I'm really excited to see what other people say about it as well.
You're making me less nervous for midnight to tick over.
I would not be worried if I were you. I think, as I say, I mean, I'm looking forward to you guys touring over here so I can see it live. But until that point, whenever it may be in the future, what is the sort of the touring situation like over your way? Obviously, you say that live shows have come back, but is there any sort of restrictions or capacity limits, or what is the deal?
Yeah, there's still some capacity stuff. Like we just did like a sold out regional tour of just here in New South Wales. And that was just before the restrictions eased a bit more. So it was like seated, like all the shows were seated. So that was like kind of a weird vibe. We still had so much fun. Like it was still amazing. But I think like everybody just wanted to get up, and it's just like, no, you're not allowed to. And socially distanced walls of death. But now, like so stuff. So we're allowed to have stand-up gigs again, but everything's limited capacity. And like I'm gonna sound like a fucking diva brat if I complain about this, but the only thing that sucks is like this tour that we're coming that we have coming up, that's at a national Australian tour. Like we sold out a bunch of the shows at COVID capacity, so we're doing second shows like on the same night, which is a bit of like, and like I know it's a like. I'm definitely not like I don't want to sound like I'm complaining, but it's just a bit of a shit vibe. Like just because we don't get to hang out with the fans as much after, like as soon as the first session's over, like security just kind of shunts everyone out and like gets everyone else in, and it just kind of kills it a little bit. Like we really like one of my favorite parts of like playing is just hanging out and meeting everybody after. So that's it. Yeah. But like, we'll get there. Like at least we're playing shows again. So yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. You know, it's better than nothing at all. And it's definitely a step in the right direction. And I suppose in a way, as much as, it's nice to, hang out and everything, I suppose that at least when I go to gigs, having that sort of that intimate vibe with a smaller audience can sometimes be a nice thing because, you do feel rather than sort of just seeing an like indecipherable wave of faces, you can actually sort of, pick out people and things like that. So, there's pros and cons as there is with everything, but I'm so jealous of you guys. I am so jealous of you guys.
I don't mean to like rub salt into your words. You'll get there, UK. You got this. Hopefully we'll be able to come and take it next year.
I can sit outside in a Starbucks now, so that is a step in the right direction. So
look,
small victories.
baby steps.
Exactly. But here at UDS, we don't just talk about music. We talk about the breadth of pop culture. So we talk about video games, movies, everything that we kind of dig. We will end up having a chat about it. So with that in mind, if you could have a RedHook song featured in anything, whether it be a movie or a game or anything at all, what would be your dream thing?
Dude, do you know what? Like have you seen The Boys on Amazon?
Yes.
Dude, that show is just incredible. Like I'm a massive superhero like movie genre geek anyway, but like I love that show so fucking much. I'm so psyched for the next season. So yeah, 100% like some sort of Homelander montage, like
just him just being a massive dick. That would be
just like ejaculating all over.
Well, that's the clip for the start of this video. Sorry,
that just came out of my mouth, didn't it?
I mean, it's out there now. The world has seen it.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna get cancelled.
I can definitely see that. The only other one that sprung to mind, because obviously, I was thinking about the question beforehand, is is it your video for the Rage Against the Machine cover that you're wearing a Tony Hawk Pro Skater top?
Yes. Oh my god, dude. Yeah, absolutely. If we could get a song on Tony Hawk, I would die. That would be incredible. That would be so incredible. It was like that was like my gateway drug into heavy music. Just like that soundtrack, like 100%. Just being a little kid and playing on Nintendo 64. It was so good.
Absolutely. I think a whole generation of people got their first dose of alternative music through those games, and I really hope they keep making them with like new soundtracks, because that's half the fun. It's just checking out the new Tony Hawk soundtrack. So yeah, there you go. Tony Hawk Pro Skaters, I think it'd be 6. RedHook, make it happen.
Tony Hawk.
There you go, Mr. Hawk. You've heard it here first. But anyway, obviously you've mentioned that you've got the tour coming up and you've got the release coming out tomorrow. But what does the rest of 2021 have in store for you guys?
Oh man, well, we've got lots of like touring and like shows booked in just here in Australia, which is really, really cool. Like it's making me really excited, and we'll probably record more music and hopefully start to plan like our next European and UK jaunt. We're hoping we'll get back there next year. I know like everything's so up in the air, so it's really hard, but we were supposed to like come back last year, obviously before COVID, and play like some festivals and stuff. So keeping our fingers and toes and devil horns crossed that that happens next year.
Absolutely, and whenever it happens, you and the guys, beers are on us. So we should definitely do this in person sometime.
Yes! Cheers to that.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. But the I've only got a cup of coffee to cheer, but it has got a shark on it, so it's kind of on brand. So
that's a cool coffee mug. Yeah, I would be concerned if you were drinking a beer now. I think it's like 10 a.m. where you are. So
yeah, and I'm technically I'm technically doing this in a break between my real job, so that would be really bad if I was like starting to get hammered. So yeah, but anyway, speaking of sharks, here at UDS, that stands for Upside Down Shark. And don't ask me why we decided to go with the name Upside Down Shark. It makes no sense. We thought it up a long time ago, but we're in way too deep to change it now. But be that as it may, Emmy, what is your favorite shark? And it could be real, it could be fictional, it could be a shark from a movie or a shark from nature. But what would you say your favorite
shark is? Dude, you have to think hard about this one. There's a lot of fantastic sharks, both real and in pop culture history. Oh man, what am I gonna say? I'm gonna have to there's this cartoon one that's in my head, but I'm gonna have to go with I'm gonna go with the one from Deep Blue Sea, specifically for the scene where Samuel L. Jackson is giving that rousing speech and the music is swelling and it's yeah, we're gonna survive this, and then it just jumps out and bites his head off.
Like they're really
that is such a quality scene. I lost my shit. But and Samuel, just because Samuel L. Jackson tells he's the best. He's just
it's so
God
good.
Bless that man.
And it makes it all the better that it's kind of like a shitty CGI shark as well, so it looks kind of shit.
So bad. I think at the time, I remember first watching it and thinking that movie was really good, and then when you go back and watch it now, you're just oh
no.
I couldn't enjoy it now because it's just so shit.
Nostalgia is a hell of a drug, but these things do age, as do we all. And on that very somber note, that is the last question I had for you. So Emmy, thank you so much for your time today. It's been an absolute pleasure chatting to you.
Thanks so much, Tom. Yeah, I had a blast. Thank you.
Anytime.
Okay, now please think I'm trying to glamorize all of this shit. I just doubt myself because my mental health is tenuous. The best from all the pressure and the stress of other people's expectations. I crash like a wave, so myself medicate to escape, but I just make more mistakes. Can't break the super cycle of self. Hey, these are my confessions. Someday I'll learn my lesson. These bad decisions haunt me, but they may.